Instant only.
Well, hello, my name's Tim Gentle and welcome to the Customer Relationship Management webinar. Pretty exciting webinar where we unfold how we can develop and nurture and grow our relationships with our customers with some pretty handy digital tools. But before we get started, just a little bit about who I am. So I am a digital skills trainer. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, quite simply, I love training people around the digital world. I'll travel abroad, I'll travel throughout Australia, I'll do one-on-ones, I'll do webinars, wherever I can help people roll up their sleeves and learn more about the digital world, I am happy. Now, I'm also an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is someone who, goes out there and has a bit of a crack. Well, I did. And I certainly started and sold a business. An amazing opportunity, a lot of hard work. So I can certainly relate to a lot of you out there. But I'm a regional, rural and remote advocate. That's right. I live in Bendigo, but I also sort of fly the flag of people living outside of the metro areas. So who are you? Well, first of all, you're a small to medium business owner or a manager, and you have come on this webinar experience to improve your online marketing. In fact, you're probably the kind of character that wants to get to develop their own skills to be able to do it yourself. Am I right? Is that you? If so, you're in the right place. Well, today we're bringing you Customer Relationship Management 101, and it's really important to understand what we're going to go through. So today's topics include what is a CRM, okay, a Customer Relationship Management tool. We'll also talk about what are the benefits, why even have one, what is it, what can it do for me. I'll be actually demoing a CRM live in the webinar. So you'll be able to deep dive, lift up the hood and change the spark plugs, take a look behind the scenes, whatever acronym you want to use, that's what I'll be doing. And also I'll be showing you some CRM tools for you to consider. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's get started. So what is a customer relationship management tool? All right, so what is it? Well, first of all, just get off the computer, forget about the internet. Really, customer relationship management exists offline. It's all about understanding your customer. It's about understanding their psychic, understanding why they come to you when they can drive down the road to someone else, why they pick up the phone and ask you for advice, why they've been joining your club for years, okay? So customer relationship management is really just showing the love. It's about listening and learning and co-creating. It's about understanding that your customer comes first. So, developing relationships with your customers should be right on the top of your agenda. I'm just saying that knowledge is power, okay? So, it's really important to understand that a CRM contains a lot of knowledge. All right, so let's dig deeper. So what are the benefits? All right, what are the benefits of a customer relationship management tool? Well, first of all, you can have longer lasting relationships with your customers, okay? So over time, you can know more about them. You can know when their birthdays are, what their wife's name is, when they purchased off you last time. It allows you to develop longer, stronger relationships. It also helps you to create advocates. An advocate is someone who really, speaks your wares, who really tells their friends and tells their colleagues how good you are. They become an advocate. Now, you can also use it to gain feedback, having a relationship with your customers, working with them rather than, just, pushing and pushing and pushing on them. How about a bit of a two-way conversation? How about a bit of feedback? So that's another great benefit of customer relationship management. Now, it's excellent for succession planning. So, if you have a management team that rotate or a committee that rotate, what about salespeople that move on? A customer relationship management tool really, to me, is an asset to the business, okay? So I just want you to understand that. But the number one thing I want you to consider is that developing relationships with your customer is going to put money in the bank. That's right. Developing relationships, sharing the love, listening, learning, and working together, at the end of the day, it's going to increase your sales. It's going to increase your profits. And that's the most exciting thing about today's webinar. With a clever tool and with dedication, you can populate almost this brain's trust, this wealth of information about your customers. They'll know you love them, and they'll show you the love by putting their credit card into your shopping cart. Alrighty, so what information do we want? All right, so let's just start off there. So do you remember that little black book? I'm not sure if any of you had one, but the little black book was something that I had tucked underneath my pillow. And this particular black book would contain some amazing information. Now, of course, it was private, but at the same time, you'd be able to open it up and bingo, you could look back through and, on a cold winter's night, you could certainly start flicking through some of the numbers. But jokes aside, all right, jokes aside, the black book was very valuable, and so is the CRM. So we need to be able to start from the top and think about what information we want to put in our little black book, or in other words, what information we want to put into our CRM. Okay, well, let's start at the top. The biggest one is we simply want their name. That's right. We just want their first name and their last name. We want to populate our database. We want to place the person's name into the chosen fields. From there, we want to put in contact details. So with contact details, we want to have things like their street address, their billing address, their phone number, their email. It might be that you want to have an emergency contact details, or you might want to have their billing and their delivery address. Either way, you want to populate it with contact details, state, country, even time zone. Alrighty, moving through the list. The next one we want to look at is lead source. Okay, so where do these people come from? Where do your customers find out about you? Was it a family barbecue when Tony told, Kim, hey, Kim, yeah, I used the motor mechanic down the road? Or was it that they found you on Facebook? Or did they attend a trade expo? Or were they referred on by a friend? Or did they Google you? All of these things are so valuable. So when you're putting Tom into your database, make sure you know how Tom came about becoming one of your customers. Lead source. Now, if you're selling, well, of course, you want to know purchase history. So purchase history can be what they've purchased, when they purchased. It could be a subscription they're on. It could be a donation they made. So what sort of exchange of commerce have you had with this customer? It's really good to capture that sort of detail too. Now, what about classification? Do you know what that is? Okay, classification means, well, how do you segment the customer? Do you segment them by demographics? For example, are they male or female, married or single? Or what about, something like the geography? Are they from Victoria or New South Wales? Or maybe you sort of box them in and you sort of say, well, look, you're all my business clients and you're all my organization clients and you're all my government clients. Maybe you have members and non-members. Maybe you have gold, silver, and bronze. Either way, number 5, classification, is incredibly important, and I'll be demonstrating why later. Now, the next one is opportunities. Okay, so opportunities means, well, let's take Tom again. Tom's given you a phone call and he's rung you up and he said, "G'day, my name's Tom. Hey, Tom, how can I help you?" "Well, I'm interested in having my 50th birthday at your venue." "Oh, no worries, Tom. And how many people would you be expecting at your party?" "Oh, well, I don't know, mate. Sometimes it can be 10, sometimes it can be 100. "Oh, okay. Well, do we want to have a look at a price range?" "Yeah, that'll be good," and blah, blah, blah. Now, Tom is a potential client who wants to book your venue for up to 100 people for his 50th. Now, that's a great opportunity. So you need to be able to populate your database with Tom, and you need to be able to create a sales opportunity for Tom, and then you can allocate jobs and follow-ups and notes regarding that opportunity. So it's pretty crazy, all the things you can put in a CRM. There's a heap more, but I thought I'd give you my top 6. All right, so where can we store this information? Whereabouts can we put it? Do we put it into our little black book? Do we put it into an Excel spreadsheet? Do we put it online? They're all options. A customer relationship management tool, in terms of what I'm focusing on today, is more about the online world. But either way, we can store the information. Now, the digital world, and going back to knowledge is power, but only if it can be accessed and used effectively. So this is what's leading me down the garden path. This is what I want to drill home today. I'm going to be drilling home a customer relationship management tool. Typically, they're online software, and it's used to store, manage, and communicate with our customers. All right, so before you sort of go in and Google content, customer relationship management tools, I want you to stop. I want you to stop, collaborate, and listen. Gee, I remember that song. I think that was Ice Ice Baby by, I think it was Vanilla Ice in the 80s. I promise to you I won't repeat that one. Either way, I wanted this quick slide just to remind you that it's, you can drive down the road, but every now and then I just need you to just pull back, because when you're choosing a customer relationship management tool, there's definitely some considerations. So some of the considerations that you need to do is you need to think about, well, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of the CRM? Is it sales opportunities? Is it to track member information? Is it to, put in potential projects? Is it to collaborate the team? Is it used for succession planning? Is it used for all of those? What is the main purpose? You need to jot that down. Another consideration, is it going to be used for team, or is it going to be used for individuals? So what I mean by that is there going to be 7, 10, 20, 100 people using this CRM? Or is it going to be just you? It's really important, because, that can add extra costs and extra complexity. But at the same time, if the team collaborate in a CRM, it can be extremely powerful and very valuable for a business. Some other considerations include synchronization. What is that? Well, that's where you put in data on a computer and then you synchronize it to your laptop or your phone. It's about synchronizing across different software applications. In fact, that can be referred to as integration. Should this integrate with your accounting software, or your email marketing software or your point of sale. What sort of integrations should you have, and what sort of access do you need to the data? Do you need to be able to access it offline? What about budgets? It's really good to set some budgets. Is there any setup costs? Or what about ongoing costs? Is it subscription based? Is it more per user, or can you buy a team environment, or can you just have one user and then everybody uses it? And what about training and support? Is there some awesome training that the CRM company give you? Can you, have one-on-one training, or can you do some sort of screen sharing where they come onto your computer and show you how to do things? What sort of support do they offer? Can you call them up? Can you email them? Is there a chat room, a forum? These are some of the CRM considerations. All right, so let's have a look at some CRM tools. Now, there is a heap on the market, guys, all right? So, I've used all of these. And in fact, you see there Google Contacts down the bottom here, Google Contacts. I mean, that does have a CRM in it. But Salesforce, that would potentially be the most recognized. Insightly, that's great. But the good thing about Insightly is it's got project management inside it. So you can certainly add customers' data to the CRM, but then you can create a project that involves the customer. Capsule, gotta love that. I've been using that for years, capsulecrm.com. That's only about $12 per user per month. Really powerful. All those top three actually come with an app. So you have Capsule, and then on your smartphone you'd use, say, Water, which is the Capsule app, or Insightly comes with its own app, and Salesforce and so forth. So you can enter data in via your smartphone and it populates the CRM. Adobe Business Catalyst. That's an all-in-one solution. In fact, that's the one I'm going to be demoing later. Zoho, really good if you're a little bit technical. This one here, you can start to manipulate and mold and change, and it's got some powerful sort of DIY sort of ability to go in and customize it. High-Rise, that's part of a larger suite of products. It works very well with a program called Basecamp. We've got Google Contacts. That's awesome as well. That's only a small CRM, but you can certainly populate that. And Outlook, believe it or not, Outlook has a CRM. Dig in deep, have a look in your contacts. You can certainly add more information than just their name and their email address. So what can you do with all this information? What's possible? Well, with a CRM, you can centralize the information. So everybody can get off their own Excel spreadsheets, get everything out of their business card holder. They can pull everything together. So if Johnny's not around and you take a phone call and Peter, his client's on the phone, you can look up Peter in the CRM and bang, you can write some notes. You can certainly manage information. In fact, in some of the more advanced CRMs, the customers themselves can manage their own details. So if they change address or want to change their password into a particular part of your website, they can do that. There's some awesome reporting as well. You can pull out information, sales reports potentially, like sales funnel reports, probably more to the point. You can list all customers that live in Victoria. And they're awesome to be communicating with your customers. So, you can use a CRM to export a mailing list and then punch out a dedicated email marketing campaign to a particular group of customers you want to target. So that's some of the CRM functions. So I think it's important that we do a little bit of a demo. I think we should get off the slides and we should jump behind the scenes. I know a lot of you out there enjoy that, and I can see there's a little bit of chat going on and they're being answered, which is great. If you're interested in knowing how to chat, all you have to do in the, there's like a little go-to webinar style console, and then underneath you can just type in a question. So if you've got any questions as I'm proceeding through, you can just type it out, and yeah, I'll be able to get in contact with you there either during the webinar, or I'll be able to get someone else to help me answer the questions. You can also raise your hand as well. You might see there's that little hand with the green arrow. You just have to click on that and I'll be able to see that you've got a question that you'd like to ask as part of the delivery. So I don't mind questions. I don't mind you raising your hand. Sometimes I can't get to it as I move through, but if I can, I will. All right, Adobe Business Catalyst. So we want to add some customer information. We want to manage some information, and we want to generate some reports. Alrighty, so I'll bring across my website. Here we go. This is my Business Catalyst website, and I use this for my private this is more of my speaker website, and I also have been using this for around 8 years. It's Adobe Business Catalyst, very powerful. Now I can go to admin. You can see here that I've just typed the word admin and it's popped up and asked me to log in. So I'll log in. And what I'm doing here is I'm logging into the content management system, the CMS, which actually left-hand side, look at that, has a CRM. You can see here where my mouse is. I might zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. You'll have to understand as I kind of zoom, it's going to give you a better view, but just a fraction hard to navigate, but I'll do my best. All right, so today I wanted to demonstrate the CRM. Let's not get bogged down into everything else. So down here in the CRM, I can simply click and look at my customers. So you can see here that I have my customers. There you go, Chris Brown and Tim Gentle. Oh, I'm a customer of my own. Must have used that for a demo. So how did Chris Brown get in here? Well, there's many different ways to add your customers' details to a CRM. Up here, literally, you could just click on add custom, add contact, and you would then simply fill out the form. Now, typically, that would be a normal way to do it. You'd work your way through, you'd add their address, and so forth. But what I thought I'd do is just demonstrate the power of an integrated solution. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to go to my website. I'll just zoom out again. I'm going to click on the contact page. And on the contact page, you'll see here that I have a contact form. So why don't we add someone to the contact form? I'll do that right now. So Glenda Booth, and I'm going to add in her details. So it'll be just something like glenda.booth@gmail.com. And I'll just add in a phone number, doesn't really matter what it is for this purpose, and a mobile. Now, Glenda would like to be emailed, and hi, I am inquiring about your digital coaching program. Oh, nice, thanks Glenda. Now enter in this little code here, stop the spam getting in, and click submit. So this is a contact form on my website. You'll see here that it says, hey, thanks for your interest. Now let's jump in behind the scenes. I'm back inside the CRM and I'm going to what's known as the dashboard. When I click the dashboard, you'll see here that I have a live feed. And you can see that Glenda Booth submitted an inquiry form 0 minutes ago. So Glenda, when I click it, I'm now going into the CRM and I'm in the instance under Glenda Booth. I can see she has made an inquiry. And if I want to, I can scroll down. I can click on details and scroll down and I can see, oh, Mr. But you can see here that Glenda has added her own details to my CRM. Now I can go in, if I know a little bit more about Glenda, and I can add this sort of information. By clicking on edit, I can add her home address, I can add customer type. So for example, if I want to segment her, maybe Glenda is a sponsor. I can also add my own custom classifications. Really, really handy if you want to be able to go in and segment your customers. So you could add someone as media. You know, you can create your own classifications and you can go in and then you can select from the list. I'm going to leave Glenda as a sponsor. Now, how did she find out about us? Well, first of all, she came along to a trade show and she met us at the trade show and said, hey, I love what you do. I want to sponsor you. Now, I asked Glenda a few questions and I found out that she was from the music industry. Now, I can also give Glenda a rating. What this means is not how she looks or how she sounds. It's more to do what sort of opportunity there is. You know, is it a hot lead, a warm lead, a cold lead? You know, how sort of, you know, how interested is she in your business? Well, I'm going to say she is definitely interested. When I click save now, that's saved that information under Glenda's details. Now, scrolling along the top here, we can look at the activities Glenda's done on the website. We can look at what cases. Now, you can open up new cases. For example, this one here, this was created by Glenda, but we could also create a new case. This could be called something like, you know, sponsorship opportunity. And so you've created this case and then you can, you know, then give it a case number. You can say status equals new, or you can assign it to a staff member. And you can even put in details. Now you can create a workflow. What does that mean? Well, what actually you can do is trigger an internal or external workflow. An external one could be sending Glenda a, hey, thanks for your inquiry. Please find attached our sponsorship information. An internal one could be, hey, Johnny, we've had a new opportunity for a gold sponsor to come on board. Give Glenda a call. So you can trigger workflows. That's if you set up a new case. I'm going to click save. And bingo, Glenda will have now two cases, sponsorship opportunity and contact form. You can actually go into this case and you can trigger things like, for example, I can send her an email. So if I wanted to, I could, hi Glenda, etc., etc., etc. So you can send people information via the CRM from Tim. And this then has a bit of a paper trail in one respect. You can have them prefabricated so that you've got these prefabbed emails, and you can even send it from different people. I'm going to click send, and bingo, we've now got two sort of trails, two paper trails, and all of the CRMs do this. You can have related files. For example, you may want to upload a membership form. So why not? Or a driver's license or a rental plan. You can even allocate tasks. Hey, I have to give Glenda a call, so I'm going to go call Glenda for feedback, and I'm going to put a date to that. So on Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, I am going to give Glenda a call. In fact, send me a reminder at 8:15 so I don't forget. Save. How crazy is that? Now you can also look at the orders. So if you're running a shopping cart or if you've got tickets to events, you can have a look at the orders that Glenda's placed. You can even do an offline order if you want to, if she calls up over the phone. You can have a look at her event ticket bookings. You can have a look at her subscriptions. So what she's subscribed to. If she's not subscribed to an email marketing newsletter, well, why not? You could easily set her up and you can click on bang. Now, obviously, you would have to have her approved to be able to be subscribed. And you can, that's what I mean by here when it says email double opt-in request. You can even give her secure zone access into a website, wholesale access into different pricing. And if you want to, when it comes to e-commerce, you can actually give her 10% off your entire shopping cart or just off a particular range. So you could give her 20% off your shoes. Very exciting when you get down to that level. But that's more to do with e-commerce, but you can see this is the CRM. We're dealing with Glenda. We know so much information about her. We're giving her different access. We're communicating with her via email. We're giving her discounts on different, lines of products. You can also look at the campaigns she's received. What sort of email marketing newsletters has she received? What did she click on? When did she open it? And, that's so exciting when you get to have that information about your customers. What about anniversary dates? Have a look at this one. If I click on anniversary dates, I can go in and say something like, accommodation ended. And so you can come in here and go accommodation ended, which means she departed and she was here for a week. So you can have her departing on Sunday. Is that Sunday? Yeah. Sunday. So her anniversary is that her accommodation ends on the 8th of November. Now, when I click save, that's automatically tagged into Glenda's instance, but I can have automated emails sent off based on anniversary dates. So 1 hour, 1 day, 3 days, 25 days, 364 days later, you can actually trigger a email marketing newsletter to be shot off. So this one could be, hey Glenda, thanks for staying with us. We'd love to hear your feedback. And that once that's set up, it's set and forget. So powerful. CRMs, gotta love them. So that is really the overall, ability to add data, manage data, look at data. What we really want to be able to do now is generate reports. So all CRMs normally have the ability to go into reports and generate, lists or groups of people out of your reports. So let's demonstrate. It's easier to look at it than talk about it. So I'm going to add a customer report. I just want my contacts. Next. I want their first name, their last name. I would like to know the customer type. I potentially want to know their home address, their cell phone, their email. And I tell you what, why don't I also get lead source? That'll do. So I'm going to scroll down and click next. Now, if I didn't filter, it would just give me everybody out of the database. And that's cool. If you want everyone out of your database, that's great. But if you want to draw out, say, customer type equals, not equals, contains, let's say equals, say, sponsor. For, for someone to be able to pull this information out, you can do it in Excel and you can sort by columns. But if the information's in a CRM, this is just a fancy Excel spreadsheet, everybody, because really it's just a database. It's different tables of information. And what I'm doing right now is I'm about to retrieve all the customers that are a sponsor. And there you go. We've got Chris Brown and Glenda Booth. Both of these people are sponsors. And if I want to, I can then click on Export Report and I can export an Excel spreadsheet. I can print a PDF, or I can even create a CSV, which is fantastic if you want to import it into something else. But you can also add the customers to a campaign list, say an email campaign, and maybe you want to add them to your e-news or an expo or whatever email marketing program you've got. You may want to subscribe these new sponsors. Submit. So now Chris and Glenda are successfully subscribed to my e-news sign up. That's over here in email marketing. Under email marketing, you have what's known as mailing lists. So if we click on the e-news sign up, we can then go in and have a look at the subscribers, okay? And under subscribers, we'll find Chris and Glenda. So how cool is that? Did you like that? Did you like the quick overview of the CRM, getting customers in there? Hey, just so you know, you can add contacts manually or you can even import them. Pretty sophisticated stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just an Excel spreadsheet. You download it, you populate it, and then you suck it up into the CRM and it automatically populates your CRM. So you're often racing with your 500 contacts that you've had for many years. So I'm thrilled that I was able to show you that. And that's known as Adobe Business Catalyst. So in that demo, I showed you how to add customers, how to manage the information, and how to generate reports. Now, look, it wasn't a training session. It was just a bit of a brushstroke, a bit of an overview, and I hope you enjoyed it. All right, so you know that you can communicate with your customers from a CRM. You know that you can place in notes and send email, but also you can use your CRM to work with an email marketing software program. So a CRM allows you to send targeted email campaigns and track interactions. So there's plenty of email marketing programs out there. In fact, some of them even have their own CRM, so you should check that out. Now, I demonstrated Adobe Business Catalyst, and I was able to show you, how I was able to export a report and then import them into the email marketing lists. So that was fantastic to show you that because, it's nice to see the integration. But things like Constant Contact, Campaign Monitor, and one of my all-time favorites is MailChimp. So if you're looking for email marketing programs, there's so many out on the market. My biggest thing would be to make sure that it integrates with your CRM. So if you're going to use, say, Xero as your CRM, what integrates. So when someone, subscribes to an email marketing newsletter, can that information go into some sort of database outside of the email? Or what if you add someone to your CRM? Can you then see how they interact with your newsletters in the CRM? Or do you have to sort of go out of one program and into another? Or do you have to continually export an Excel spreadsheet and import it into an email program? So just make sure you pull back and you say, right, before I invest in an email marketing software, does it talk to my CRM? So in a future webinar, I'm going to be running an email marketing demo. So you can actually see how I piece together a newsletter, how I add content, and how I embed CRM forms. For example, you could embed someone's first name and say, Dear Tim, and you can trigger it based on an anniversary, 20 days before their birthday. Hey, send them a voucher. And I also will show you the reports. So with all good email marketing software, it also produces some fantastic insights into who opened it, what they clicked on, did they forward it, and what happens after they clicked on the link. Did they go and buy something? So very powerful. Now, I've also got an email marketing course up online. So have a little look at this. If you go to Udemy, it's UDEMY. Okay, this is a great sort of online resource for training. And my course is called Email Marketing in an hour, I think it's called. Where are you? It doesn't look like me. See if I can find it on the fly. They've actually just done my new one. Sorry about this, guys. I'll just do it. Email marketing plan. See, I shouldn't diverge. This is what happens. There we are. So this is my course here. So if you're interested, you can go in and take this course, and this allows you to develop an email marketing plan in just under an hour. And I take you through all the steps. All right, I'll go back to my presentation now. So what have we learned today? Well, we certainly learned what is a CRM. So we know that a customer relationship management exists offline, but there's some pretty handy tools around for you to use online to populate, manage, and nurture. We talked about the benefits, about long-term relationships, creating advocates, getting some feedback, and really just building an asset for succession planning and an asset for the business. I also demoed a CRM. I really lifted the hood and showed you how it all works. I showed you the CRM of Business Catalyst, but really all of those other CRMs, the Salesforces and the Capsules, the Insightly's and the Zohos, in fact, they're probably a lot more powerful than what I demoed. And then I showed you the CRM tool, as I mentioned, and I gave you those other ones, Insightly, Highrise, Zoho, even Outlook and Google Contacts. They all have a CRM of some nature within it. Okay, so I would love you to allow me the privilege to guide you further. If you've enjoyed this webinar, trust me, it's just skimming the surface. In fact, I do provide digital skills training. And for those that aren't part of the program, and yes, I saw some people in the room today that were part of the program, hello to you. Those that aren't, I do have a digital coaching program. It's basically designed to accelerate your growth online. We don't mess around, and it's only $79 Australian per month. And you can just visit Think.Digital.com. You can learn all about it. In fact, what I'll do is I'll quickly go to that link and I'll show you the website so you can take it all in. So here we are. This is Think.Digitalcoach.com, and this is for my coaching program. It's a little different than a webinar. A webinar, we sort of skim across the surface, and look, it's great, it's free, and it's, you know, something that you can sort of get started. But if you're serious, I suggest you pop in here. I talk about who is it for and how it works, and then I get into what's included, and then I say, hey, meet the captain. From there, I really give you some ideas on what other people have said, topics we covered, and then how to get started. So there's a whole heap of information underneath the digital coaching program, and I totally recommend you spend a little bit of time going and having a look at that and seeing if it's right for you. I ask that you commit for a minimum of 3 months so that you get the most out of the program. We meet up, we meet up in Hangouts. I give you some sort of action lists. You get some online resources. It's a lot thicker and a lot more information than what you've experienced today. All right, so that's the Think Digital Coaching Program, and that brings us to the conclusion of today's webinar. If you've got any questions, all you have to do is email coach@think.digital, and there's no .com, there's no .com.au after that. It's just coach@think.digital, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So once again, I wanted to thank you for joining us in the room today. You can jump onto Think.Digital to learn more about all the options you have about accelerating your growth online. My name's Tim Gentle, and thank you for joining in today's webinar, Customer Relationship Management. I'll catch you around. Thank you.